In war-torn Yemen, water is turned into a luxury that not everyone can afford. More than 15 million people are deprived of safe water, and every year the situation only gets worse. Wells are destroyed by airstrikes, pipelines are blocked, pumping stations stop working because there's no fuel. People dig holes in dry soil, hoping for a miracle, and water trucks are escorted by armed guards while desperate crowds try to storm them. On the black market, a bucket of water can cost more than a bag of rice. Children drink from ditches and catch cholera and intestinal infections. In recent years, almost 3 million people have suffered from cholera. Hospitals run out of medicine, doctors, and even water itself. Here it has stopped being the source of life and has become the cause of slow death.
It might sound cynical, but while I'm lying in a jacuzzi drinking clean water, millions of people around the world are living in hell and dying without a drop of clean water. This isn't something out of a movie. It's happening right now on our planet. The scariest part is that the number of such people is growing, and it's possible that we could end up on that list too.
In the slums of Port-au-Prince, water is something people can get only from puddles, ditches, or old tanks filled with waste. There is no piped water in most districts and no sewage system. People scoop the murky water into plastic bottles, filter it through old shirts, and hope to survive. After the devastating earthquake, the water system was never restored. Chlorine is too expensive, wells are out of reach, and the state has long abandoned the problem. Children drink dirty street water, get infected by parasites, and die from diarrhea and dehydration. Here, no one asks about the quality of water. Here, people are glad if it exists at all. Every sip can be the last, but there is no other choice. In India's crowded megacities like Chennai or Delhi, every summer season becomes a struggle for survival. During droughts, wells bring up nothing but dust, and taps release only air. People line up for hours at water trucks, shout, argue, and fight for a bucket of water. Those without money for private tanks or wells must rely on the mercy of authorities who supply water at fixed hours and only to certain areas. Miss your hour and you are left with nothing. In a country of more than 1 billion people, water is not only daily life, but also politics. Those who control the water control the mood of cities and entire regions. Sahel, the land between the Sahara and tropical Africa. Water is not just a resource, but a daily trial. Women and children rise before sunrise to walk for hours toward the only well that may dry up at any moment. On the way, they face burning sun, dust, and heat with nowhere to hide. On the return trip, they carry heavy buckets on their heads or shoulders, often the only source of water for the whole family that day. School becomes a luxury when mornings are spent searching for water, and if it runs out too soon, the journey must be repeated. Survival belongs only to those who are stronger, faster, and luckier. In this region, a single drop of water can mean the difference between life and death.
It's truly nice and quite convenient when fresh water just effortlessly flows from the tap, even if it's refreshingly cold.
In a country considered a symbol of prosperity, one city became a symbol of poisoned systems. In 2014, officials in Flint, Michigan decided to save money by switching the water supply from a safe source to a local river. The water was corrosive and destroyed old lead pipes. People kept drinking it without knowing that poison was flowing into their bodies. Complaints were ignored for months, then for years. Children suffered irreversible poisoning at home, home, losing their health before they could even read. Lead levels in blood reached critical values, yet officials insisted everything was under control. This case became one of the loudest infrastructure failures in the United States and proved that even in the richest country, clean water is not guaranteed. In northern Kenya, where drought lasts for months, water is not just a product, but a tool of blackmail. Where no wells exist and springs are long dry, water sellers rule. They control supply, dictate conditions, and when women cannot pay, demand payment with their bodies. Vulnerability turns into dependence. Teenagers and young mothers suffer most. For one bucket of water, a girl may pay with herself. Such cases rarely reach the press, but in villages they are no surprise. Children are never sent alone for water. Girls are not left unsupervised. Here, water is not only survival, it has become part of a structure of violence, and those who exploit it are never punished. In South Sudan's refugee camps, water is the line between life and death. Hundreds of thousands of people live in crowded tents, without sewage, under open sky. In the heat, the air rises above 40 degrees, but there is no water. The UN delivers it in tanks, but never enough. Lines stretch for hours. Children faint. Elderly die of dehydration. Sometimes water comes from puddles or rice swamps. Sometimes from the same streams where people wash feet or clothes. Stomach diseases, dysentery, and typhoid spread at terrifying speed. Parents shrug helplessly. There is no clean water, and without it, everything else loses meaning. Here, it is impossible to build a future when you cannot know if your child will drink tomorrow. In Mexico, the problem of water shortage has become systemic, especially in megacities like Monterrey and Mexico City. In some districts, water flows for only 1 hour a day. Families fill every possible container in advance, buckets, bottles, barrels. People guard taps in the morning, afraid to miss the trickle. Those without tanks are left with nothing. Private suppliers raise prices. Corruption in water distribution has become normal. For weeks, there may be no supply at all. Families bathe in turns, wash clothes by hand, and save every liter. And all this happens in a country that only recently never knew what water hunger meant. Now it is daily reality for millions of Mexicans. At first glance, Bangladesh has plenty of water, rivers, deltas, and rain. But the groundwater used by millions is poisoned. It naturally contains arsenic, a substance that slowly and inevitably destroys the body. It is invisible, silent, without taste or smell. People drink it every day, unaware they are harming themselves. Over years, arsenic causes cancer of the skin, liver, and lungs. Entire villages are victims. International organizations try to install filters, but coverage is insufficient. And when there is no choice, people keep drinking. There is simply no alternative. It is a silent genocide flowing from the tap. The São Francisco River in Brazil was once a source of life for farmers, fishermen, and villages. Its waters irrigated fields, carried food, and supplied drinking water. But over decades, the climate grew hotter. Deforestation continued and droughts became frequent. The river shrinks. Its tributaries disappear. People watch sandbanks swallow the water and know soon nothing will remain. Fish vanish, harvests fail. Some move away, others stubbornly stay. Where once was a wide artery, there are now cracks. The water is gone, and with it life. And this is not some empty desert, but the heart of Latin America, where water should be abundant. A Around the world, people keep dumping waste into the same rivers they drink from. Pesticides from fields, heavy metals from factories, sewage without filters, all flow into the water sources of cities. In China, dozens of rivers are officially labeled unfit, even for industrial use. In Indonesia, the Citarum River became a symbol of ecological disaster. Water turned black, garbage covers the surface, yet people still wash clothes and vegetables there. In Eastern Europe and Asia, old pipelines leak chemicals and rust. We pollute water, then put on filters, drink, and wonder at illnesses. But filters are not eternal, and rivers are not infinite. Humanity is systematically destroying the sources it needs to survive, all for speed, comfort, and profit. About a third of all drinking water in the world comes from underground sources. These reserves built up for centuries, but humans pump them out so fast they can never recover. In China, India, and Pakistan, groundwater levels drop several meters each year. Wells are drilled deeper, pumps run non-stop, yet water keeps disappearing. The land subsides, cracks appear, soil turns salty, farming collapses. In Mexico and Saudi Arabia, city supplies already face disruption. Beneath the surface, emptiness spreads. These waters are not replenished by rain. They formed thousands of years ago, which means when they are gone, there will be no replacement. We waste this non-renewable resource on lawns, air conditioning, and fast food, and we pretend it will never run out. Today, more than 2 billion people live without access to safe water. 1 in 3 drinks or cooks with water that can kill them. Climate keeps changing, cities keep growing, sources keep disappearing. Wars over water are not future, but reality. In Africa, the Middle East, and Central Asia, clashes erupt between villages and countries, between rich and poor. Whoever controls water controls life. And if today you can open a tap without thinking, no, this is not normal. It is privilege. Tomorrow, everything may change. We talk about oil, gas, and technology, but forget the essential. Without water, nothing else matters. Subscribe to the channel so you won't miss new 10-minute episodes, always short, sharp, and straight to the point.